Daf Yomi, Tractate Chullin, page 33. Top of the page with the words Mi mitzaref simen rishon. Mi mitzaref simen rishon simen sheni ta'lamidin ve'loilo. The Gemara clarifies this dilemma. Does the first simen join together with the second simen to purify the animal from the impurity of an unslaughtered carcass or not? In both cases, the dilemma is, does the cutting of the first simen, which serves the dual purpose of being a component of permitting consumption and preventing impurity of the animal, join together with the cutting of the second simen, which serves only the purpose of preventing impurity in order to constitute a single act of slaughter and thereby prevent the animal from assuming the impurity of an unslaughtered carcass, or perhaps because the cutting of each simen is performed for a different purpose, they do not join together. Ad kan lo iboyla neleta aminin veila aval bachila sura. In any event, we raise the dilemma only in order to purify the foreleg from the impurity of an unslaughtered carcass. But with regard to eating the slaughtered animal, all agree that it is forbidden, even as a Rizera concedes that the animal is a treifa and reacts to his objection to the distinction that Rav proposed between the lungs and the innards. Amalei Rav Acha bar Rav Ravina Din Maloilam no hadarbe Rav Yisrael dvol Rav Akamar Veleila Svirale. Rav Acha bar Rav said to Ravina, perhaps Rabbi Zera actually did not detract his opinion, as even initially he held that there is no distinction between lungs and innards. If either is perforated after one simen was cut, the animal is a treifa. And Rabbi Zera stated his objection to the distinction of Rava in accordance with the statement of Rava, but he himself does not hold accordingly. Amar Rav Acha bar Yaakov, Shema minam Rav Shimon ben Lakish, Mizamnin Yisrael al bnei me'ayin. The Gemara continues its analysis of the statement of Reish Lakish, who said that after the windpipe is cut, the lung is considered as though it was placed in a basket, and it is perforated before the slaughter is completed. The animal does not become a treifa. Rav Acha bar Yaakov said, learn from the statement of Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish that one may invite Jews to eat the innards of an animal that was slaughtered, but one may not invite Gentiles to eat the innards of an animal that was slaughtered because they are forbidden to Gentiles. Okay? Listen, I'm just reading it. I neither confirm nor deny. I'm just reading it. My time, Yisrael, the Bishchita Tagamilso. Kevon the Geshchita me'al Yisrael ishtere lehu. Goyim de binchira, sagi lehu v'misa talya milso, hanigeva b'nachaydamu. What is the reason? For Jews, the matter of rendering the meat of the animal fit for consumption is dependent upon the performance of a valid act of slaughter. Once there is full-fledged slaughter and both simanim are cut, the innards are permitted to them, even if the animal is convulsing. But with regard to Gentiles, for whom stabbing is sufficient and slaughter is not required, the innards are permitted only after the animal is completely dead. Since the matter of rendering the meat of an animal as fit for consumption is dependent upon its death, right, because even a non-Jew is required not to eat a live animal. Therefore, if the animal is still convulsing these innards, which are considered to be outside the body, after the cutting of the simanim, are considered like the limb from a living animal, and it is forbidden for Gentiles to eat them. Amar Rav Papa, Havi Yasifna Kamen Rav Acha bar Yaakov Boe, Be'ema le Mikabide l'Israel, Shchile Boe Vaso. ולא אמר לו, ולא אמר לי, נאמינה, הטעם הכמל. Rav Papa said, I was sitting for Avraham Yaakov, and I sought to say to him, that this statement is difficult. Is there anything that's permitted for a Jew but prohibited for a Gentile? But I did not say that to him, as I said to myself, didn't he say a reason for his ruling? Therefore, there's no reason to ask the question. Okay? Tanya, Tilo Karabach Bar Yaakov, Haroitzi Lechol Behem Makoidim Shitezi, Namsha Chodech Yezayis, Basami Besa Shchita, Ubalcho Yafe Yafe, Umendicho Yafe Yafe, Mamtin La, Ad Shiteze Nafsha, Yochlo, Echad Goy Vechesol Matombo. This is an interesting statement. I don't know what someone needs to eat meat so fast for that, but this is what they're saying. The Gemara notes it is taught in a Braita, not in accordance with the opinion of Rachel or Yaakov, one who seeks to eat from meat of an animal before its soul departs, may cut an olive bulk of meat, may cut an olive from the area of the slaughter, the neck, and salt it very well, meaning more than normally required, rinse it very well in water to remove the salt and the blood, and wait until the animal's soul departs and eat it. That itself takes so much time. The animal's going to die already. Why do you have to say this? It is permitted for both a Gentile and a Jew to eat it. Contrary to the statement of Rachel Yaakov, there is no distinction between a Jew and Gentile. There is neither Jew nor Gentile, nor Jew nor Greek, nor male nor female. Okay, Messiah lay, Ravidi Baravin Dama Ravidi Baravin. Amar Yitzhak Barashian Harois Shiavri Chodech Zayis Basau Mi Beis Shechitos Asher Beheba Ovacho Yafe Yafem Licho Yafe Yafe Mamtin La Ad Shitese Nafshah Echad Goy Echad Yisrael Mitolam Bo. This Braita supports the statement Ravidi Baravin. As Ravidi Baravin says, Rav Yitzhak Barashian says, one who seeks to recuperate from an illness should cut an olive bulk of meat from the area of slaughter, from the neck of an animal, and salt it very well, and rinse it very well, and wait until the animal's soul departs and eat it. It is permitted for both Gentile and Jew to eat it. That's the Gemara. At least there's equality with both Gentiles and Jews, and Shalom al Israel, and Shalom on the Gentiles. And good night. Okay. Mishnah. Zog the Mishnah, Shoich beim Chayv Oif. Puleyot men dam kisheirem. V'nechom yadayim miso abos. Difi shelo huchshu badam. Rabbi Shimon Omer huchshu b'shchita. The Mishnah says in the case of one who slaughters a domesticated animal, an undomesticated animal or a bird, and blood did not emerge from him during the slaughter, all of these are permitted for consumption, do not require the ritual washing of the hands, as they may be eaten with ritually impure hands, because they were not rendered susceptible to ritual impurity through contact with blood, which is one of the 7 liquids that render food susceptible to impurity. Rabbi Shimon says they were rendered susceptible to impurity by means of the slaughter itself. That's the Mishnah, and now we say the Gemara. Zog the Gemara, time to loyotz ben dam. Loyotz ben dam, in nechol b'dayim miso abos amai. Yidayim shniosei ben shenios shlish b'chulin. The Gemara says the reason that they may be eaten with ritually impure hands is that blood did not emerge from the animals or birds during the slaughter. But if blood emerged from them during slaughter, they may not be eaten with ritually impure hands. The Gemara asks, why not? Take, why not? Ordinary hands are impure with second-degree ritual impurity, and an item of second-degree impurity cannot impart third-degree impurity to non-sacred items with which it comes into contact. Dikotoni chayo, ilu kadoshim chay v'kadoshim miko, v'su ibu kadoshim. Ki lo yotzo min dam, kisheiro, hu asmo iledam, hu tzarech. Gemara clarifies, so where is it ascertained that we are dealing in the Mishnah with non-sacred food and not with the slaughter of an offering? That is clear, as the Tana teaches in the list of those slaughtered an undomesticated animal, as if the Tana is referring to the slaughter of sacrificial animals and birds. Is there any undomesticated animal included in the framework of sacrificial animals? And furthermore, if the Tana is referring to sacrificial animals, where no blood emerges from them, are the offerings valid? The offering itself requires blood, as it is only through the presenting of the blood upon the altar that the offering is accepted. V'su ibu kadoshim ki yot ben dam mimachshir v'yomer b'chiyah barabah amar v'yochanan menayin l'dam kadoshim she'enu machshir she'ne'emar al ha'oretz tishbechenu kamayim דם שנשפך כמים מכשיר, שאינו נשפך כמים אינו מכשיר. And furthermore, if the time is referring to sacrificial animals when blood emerges from them, does it render them susceptible to ritual impurity? But doesn't Rabbi Barabba say that Rabbi Yochanan says, from where is derived the blood of sacrificial animals does not render food susceptible to ritual impurity? It is derived from a verse, as it is stated, you shall not eat it. You shall pour it upon the earth like water. Deuteronomy 12:24. Blood of an unsacred animal, which is poured out like water, when it is slaughtered, renders food susceptible to ritual impurity. By contrast, blood of sacrificial animal, which is not poured like water, but is presented on the altar, does not render food susceptible to ritual impurity. This Kilo Yosbin Dam Lo Matachshiri. In parentheses it says Litachshiri, or in brackets it says Litachshiru. The Chivas HaKodesh. The Kaiman on Chivas HaKodesh Machshaltan. And furthermore, if the Tana is referring to sacrificial animals, when blood does not emerge from them, they are not nevertheless rendered susceptible to ritual impurity. Let them be rendered susceptible to ritual impurity by means of regard for sanctity, as we maintain that regard for sanctity renders food susceptible to ritual impurity even in the absence of contact with any of the 7 liquids. Amar Nachman, Amar Rabba Baravu, Hacha Becholin, Shilacham Mekesed Ma'aser Askinan, Udilo Karimel Ditnahan. Rav Nachman said that Rabba Bar Avu said, here we are dealing with non-sacred food that one purchased in Jerusalem with second tithe money, which assumes the status of the second tithe produce. This produce in turn assumes third degree impurity through contact with hands that have second degree impurity, and this Mishnah is not in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Meir. As we learned in the Mishnah in Para 11:5,